What's up, YouTube? Today we're doing something completely out of my comfort zone, but it's something that I really intended for this channel, like at the inception of creating this channel. But you know, I had to get some reps in doing some instant noodles at home, trying to just get my sea legs under me in terms of like being in front of the camera and stuff. But today we're on our mission to find the best bowl of ramen in the world. Today we're starting locally. I don't know if you can see it right there. We are trying Jinya in Sugarhouse, Salt Lake City, Utah. I have been here before, but it's been a while. Stay tuned.
What's up, all you nudes? Welcome back to the Ramen Review. My name is Chase, and today we're reviewing the Jinya Ramen Bar in Sugarhouse, Salt Lake City, Utah. Look at that branding. I love it. Nice and clean. This menu is a little busy. It's ironic that there's all these things, and the smallest little leaflet of the menu is the ramen menu, which it's a ramen bar. You would kind of maybe expect the opposite, but I mean, it is what it is. I don't mind. There's some chef specials, but if you know me, you know we're already going with the tonkotsu spicy. But I love the aesthetics of this place. I love that mural. I love that modern woodwork, and I love greenery floating from the ceiling because it's how it occurs in nature, right? And ramen really is all the craze, at least on this channel. Awesome, thank you.
Absolutely. And are you about ready? We still need some time.
Yeah, no, I think I'm ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
Could I do the tonkotsu spicy?
Absolutely.
I'll do that hot.
Okay.
Could I also add an egg
Absolutely.
and the pork saburo?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Also, could I do the garlic shrimp spring rolls?
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome.
No problem.
That sounds amazing.
You got it, my friend. I'll go get that started for you.
Cool. Thank you so much.
You got it.
Sapporo draft. Tasty. Beer and ramen go together like spaghetti and tuna fish. These are the garlic spring rolls? Shrimp? Can't remember exactly what they're called. All right, so these are the fried garlic shrimp. Actually, they're the garlic shrimp. It's like a salt and pepper thing. Spring rolls, garlic shrimp spring rolls. They were delicious. I was kind of hoping for some dipping sauce, but there wasn't any. Just this kind of salt and pepper blend. These are amazing. Really good. Thank you so much. And here we are, the main event, the thing we've all been waiting for. Look how great that looks. I love that bowl, a big, thick ceramic bowl with some Jinya branding on it. That's the pork saburo, the ground pork, and we still have a little bit of the shrimp left. But that chashu, those mushrooms, green onions, sprouts, egg, and that spicy tonkotsu. And this was a great idea. Like I mentioned, I was hoping to have something to dip that shrimp in, even though it was fine on its own. But I'm a dipper. I like dipping things. And if you don't dip things into things, you're doing it wrong. But yeah, this was really good. That was a good idea. I went for that salt and pepper blend with the tonkotsu on top. That really set it off. That was amazing. I almost said good, but I'm trying to find new adjectives because I say good too much. It was delicious. I don't want it to end. All right, yeah, we're just gonna pour that pork right on top of that bowl of ramen. Drink some of that Sapporo ice cold draft. Gotta have ramen and beer. You just have to. Let's try the broth first. So excited. It's so red and creamy, like a tonkotsu should be. That's good. That's better than I remembered. All right, let's go for a noodle bowl. Let's try some. Oh my god, that looks really hot. Temperature hot. Yeah, that first nude poll was really hot, and it was amazing.
Noodles are great. That's a great consistency, and it's so good. Let's try the noodles with a bite of the chashu. That pork is so good.
Yeah, like I said, new adjectives. Everything's so good. You gotta do something about that.
Definitely an upgrade from the instant noodles I've been eating.
Yeah, definitely an upgrade from the instant noodles. I need to find a new scoring system because I can't be comparing instant to actual restaurant noodles. So
Let's get the egg shot. You gotta have the egg shot, right?
this egg, my goodness. I suck at chopsticks still, but I was able to crack that thing wide open. It was cooked to perfection. Look at that just gooey, golden, delicious mess. It was so amazing. If you're not familiar with what a seasoned ramen egg is, it's usually a soft-boiled egg that's been marinating overnight with soy sauce and mirin, maybe some sugar and other spices. But they knocked it out of the park with that egg. That was great.
The spice isn't too crazy. I could go up a couple notches and be happy, but it's fine.
Yeah, it wasn't too spicy. I mean, I did order the hottest of the three options. I would have preferred a little hotter, or a little spicier. But yeah, I think that's probably an option that I could have just asked for had I known. So next time I'll ask for some additional spice, additional heat level. I don't know if they are using... I think they have a few different types of chili paste that they use to spice this thing up. So yeah, I might just ask them to, kick it up by, back in the kitchen, or just bring me out the additional spices that I can do, on the table. These noodles were fantastic. Great texture. This chashu though was different level. The chashu pieces weren't huge. Usually chashu portions I feel like are a little bigger, but it was cooked to perfection. It had a good sear on it. It was the perfect level of like chewiness. It wasn't too fatty or too gristly. It just melted in your mouth. It was really amazing.
Let's try some of the egg.
Well, that's a slurp sound if you ever heard one.
Eggs cooked perfect. Seasoned egg, cooked to perfection, still a little gooey and runny on the inside, that perfect yellow gold color. Kind of like the color of this delicious Sapporo.
Yeah, a little bit more beer. If you can see, there's those strands of black right there. You see that? Well, they're not black, but brown. That's the mushroom. And that adds a really great kind of variance and texture in this bowl of ramen. The noodles are great consistency. But that mushroom adds just kind of another level of complexity in terms of texture. They're a little more crunchy. And I don't want to say they're crunchy, but they're obviously harder and thicker than a noodle. But great flavor, nice earthy flavor, and I think that earthy flavor really enhances and goes well with the pork flavor in this bowl, since it's a pork broth with the pork chashu and ground pork, the Sapporo. Yeah, great addition. Always recommend mushrooms. It feels like we've been eating forever at this point. I'm kind of a slow eater. But it looks like, we're showing some progress there, so it's always exciting. I think we're getting to the point where we're about to just start slurping down the soup straight from the bowl. One of my favorite parts, especially because that's where, the broth at the bottom, that's where all the spice and the chili and the heat kind of condenses and comes down at the very bottom. So that those last slurps are usually the spiciest, which is, again, one of my favorite parts. And see that? Always drink your water, kids. Always drink your water. We're getting water and vegetables. Oh, and here we go. The second half of the egg. That is just glorious. That egg yolk is perfection. It's gooey gold. Gooey gold, as we'll call it. Yep, pretty sure I said perfect, and it was, in fact, a perfect ramen egg. I always recommend getting it in the spoon with some broth. Get a little egg explosion action when you take that bite between the yolk and the broth.
Fantastic. Friend, you still doing all right?
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
This waiter was amazing. He was so attentive. Attentive? Is that the word? Attentive? Great. I mean, the service was fantastic. It was relatively busy in here. I came in at 3 p.m. I was trying to get there at 11, right as they opened, but I wasn't hungry, and I thought that might be a problem. So I was trying to kind of wait for off lunch hour. But it was still, I would say, probably at 50% capacity, which is good. I like to see places doing well. If I didn't mention it before, Jinya is a kind of a chain or a franchisee type business. So this is accessible to a lot of folks in North America. I believe there is 45-ish locations across the states. And I believe it's only in the states. So you can check and see if you can check to see if there's one nearby. At this point, I would highly recommend, but don't forget to stay to the end to see the actual review and ramen rating. I love those soupy bites of just broth and veggies and ground pork. All right, here we go. It's slurp time. This is game time right now. This is trying to cross the finish line. And we did it. Empty bowl. We finished it. We slurped it all up. About to burst at the seams. This is when the waiter came up and I had my first YouTube interaction, which was actually really, really cool. So I'm keeping it in the video just for my own sake. So, relatively new, starting on YouTube.
Okay, sweet.
I have a channel called The Ramen Review.
The Ramen Review.
So it's just
Gotta check it out.
everything ramen. It's really new. I've only had like maybe 5 or 6 videos.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But I've just been doing instant noodles at home so far.
Yeah.
But like the goal is to get out and like travel the world and find the best bowl of ramen there is.
Awesome.
So this is the first time I've done it at a restaurant,
killer.
and I love this place. So
I've always loved that stuff. I've always loved YouTube. I've always been a ham.
Yeah.
Always one only child. So and you crave the attention.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's awesome, dude.
yeah,
That's cool.
so yeah, just trying to.
I'll have to
trying
check out
to
your
get
YouTube channel, man.
Yeah, that'd be great. The ramen review, and
Ramen Review, dude.
again, this is the first restaurant that will be on the channel, and it's gonna get a good reviews because I love this place. Yeah, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, of
You've
course.
been
Let me know
you've been
if there's
amazing.
anything else I can do for you.
Awesome, we'll do.
Take care, my friend.
You too. Thank you so much. So there we have it, all you nudes. the Jinya Ramen Bar in Sugarhouse, Salt Lake City, Utah. The ambiance was great. I would give it a 9 out of 10. The noodles were fantastic, great consistency. They weren't overcooked. I would give them an 8 out of 10. The broth was creamy. It was rich. It had just the right amount of spice. Again, I could have had a little spicier, but out of the box, it was great. So overall, I'm going to give Jinya Ramen Bar in Salt Lake City a 8 out of 10 because I am such a romantic. Until next time.